Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Mark and Natalie here with eXp Realty. And have you been thinking about doing a day trip in and around Calgary? We live in such a beautiful area. And in today's video, we're gonna reveal our top 5 day trips from Calgary. All right, Natalie, this is a fun one. We've done some, I think all of these day trips, and so we put our list together. Let's go through it now. Our top 5 day trips from Calgary. Now, some of these are, a little shorter, some of them are a little longer, but I think all of them would qualify from Calgary as being day trips. So what's number 5 on our list?
So number 5 is Head Smashed In Buffalo Jump and Fort Macleod. So they're very similar in the same area, probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours south of the city. Head Smashed In is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It has a history of over 5,000 years of Indigenous culture in that area, and the actual jump site is a very sacred area to the Indigenous population. Fort Macleod itself, which is not very far away, probably 10 or 15 minutes, was originally built as a Northwest Mounted Police fort in 1874 and then became a municipality in 1885. So it's a beautiful little town, lots of historic buildings. There's this gorgeous old Art Deco theater there. Definitely worth the trip.
And they have just filmed, if you've watched The Last of Us on HBO in the United States or Crave in Canada, a good chunk, I believe, of episode 1 or 2 was filmed in Fort Macleod.
Number one,
yeah.
Right in downtown Fort Macleod. Our daughter was there watching it.
Yeah, exactly. And there's been tons of movies and TV shows. It's just like you feel like you've walked onto a Hollywood movie set when you're in Fort Macleod. That's a great number 5. Number 4.
Number 4 is Frank Slide and Lundbreck Falls. So those are going towards the southwest portion of the province, and they're actually going into southeastern BC. Frank Slide itself was a little town that in April of 1903 was built at the base of what was called Turtle Mountain, which was a very unstable geological area. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, the whole mountain came down on the town. So everything is original and built underneath, or not built, it's still underneath the rocks there. But it is a beautiful area and something you should actually go and visit. Lundbreck Falls is a nice little day trip very close by. Beautiful falls, hiking trails, picnic areas. It's just a lovely day with your family.
Awesome. Number 3 on our list is what us Albertans call K-Country or Kananaskis. And I'm going to use Bragg Creek in there as well, because Bragg Creek is kind of like the entrance to Kananaskis country, more from kind of like the Calgary side. Yeah. So from the west side of Calgary, Bragg Creek is about a 20 to 25 minute drive away. And then you drive a few more minutes down Highway 22 and you're at the entrance to Kananaskis country. So on the Bragg Creek side, we have Elbow Falls. This is such a great little afternoon trip to go do a picnic, just a little hike, go take pictures. It is a fantastic picture spot in winter and summer. Of course, we're talking about summer day trips here. Make a stop in Bragg Creek. Bragg Creek is kind of this western little town, kind of that feel to it. And they've really done a great job there. There's great restaurants, pubs, shopping. So you can get kind of your commercial, your retail fix on there in Bragg Creek. But then if you go out into Kananaskis country itself, so many great hikes, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you can also access it from the number 1 highway, going about 45 minutes west of the city. There's another exit into Kananaskis, and there's the Nordic Day Spa, which is stunning.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Kananaskis Delta, there's the Kananaskis Golf Course, and there are multitudes of hikes to do around there.
I think it's actually the Pomeroy Kananaskis Lodge now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. Who knows what hotel it is? They've been there since the 1988 Olympics. And then, of course, in winter, we're not going to talk about winter too much here, but there is skiing there at Kananaskis. But I want to talk about the golf courses. I will say that those are my 2 favorite golf courses in Alberta. If you go west, we're going to talk about Banff here in a second. But if you can get on to either of the 2 Kananaskis golf courses, Mount Lorette or Mount Kidd, they are absolutely stunning. And I believe they still have discounts for Albertans when you golf out there. And then of course you can meander your way through Kananaskis country, actually bringing you all the way back into Bragg Creek area in summer.
Yeah.
In summer. In winter, that road does get closed.
Yeah.
All right, so there's K Country, Kananaskis. Now, a note here on Kananaskis, there is essentially a park pass or a permit that you need to use in Kananaskis country. So check out the Alberta government website to purchase your pass. I think it's around $40, so it's not too bad for the year.
Yeah.
All right, number 2 on our list is Drumheller. Drumheller is an absolutely epic, you gotta do this if you're a Calgarian, if you're a Southern Albertan, anywhere really. Drumheller is a great little road trip. It is highlighted by the Royal Tyrrell Museum. And I believe that Drumheller, that whole area is the largest ever find of dinosaur fossils and things like that in the world, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Between there and Dinosaur Provincial Park, which is also epic.
Yeah, yeah. So that's all in a similar area. So go to Drumheller, here's a great little itinerary for you if you're gonna go to Drumheller. Drive out there, go do the Royal Tyrrell in the morning, and then take a little side trip over to Wayne, Alberta. And it's really nothing except there's the Last Chance Saloon out in Wayne. They film movies out there as well. It's really a one-way in and one-way out.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a windy road, but it's super cute in kind of the valley in the Drumheller area there. And then of course there's all the hoodoos. There's great golfing. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm always gonna talk about golf. There's Dinosaur Trail golf course there. Epic views in the side of the hoodoos. There's some great camping out there as well, but we're talking day trips here. But if you do want to camp, there's good camping options out there for you as well. So that's Drumheller.
And one more thing to add onto your stop. After you go cross the 11 bridges to go to Wayne, Alberta, get your ice cream, get your hamburger, and on your way home, drive over to Horseshoe Canyon, which is the funniest place. You drive up, it's flat prairie everywhere, and then it drops off into prehistoric land, and it's stunning. There's trails and lookouts and photo areas. It's really, really beautiful.
Yes, we did do that a couple of years ago, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Number 1 on our list, and I mean, come on, like here's no shock. It's Banff, Canmore. You could probably work Lake Louise into there. But what are some maybe low cost, no cost things that people can do in Banff and Canmore? Well, we just had family up from Florida, their first time ever in the Rocky Mountains, and their eyes were like bulging out the whole time they were there. You know, our brother-in-law called it one of the prettiest, maybe one of the prettiest places he's ever been in the world, and he's a world traveler. But let's go through the list here. Maybe let's start with Canmore. Canmore is just, to me, a great town to make it maybe your first pit stop on your way out to the Banff Lake Louise area. Go for a coffee on Main Street, tons of great shopping there. Yeah. Great walking along the river. Other things that you like to do in Canmore, Natalie?
Well, there's a really nice biking trail that you could do between Canmore and Banff. It was just open probably, I don't know, 10 years ago?
I think so, somewhere in that, yeah.
Long. So it really gives you a bit of a different viewpoint when you're going between the two towns. So it just depends on how, you know, creative you want to be with your time during the day, because I think it does take probably an hour and a half or so to get there, but a beautiful little trail. The other thing is just hiking, not even hiking, there's walking trails all through the town site. You can go down to the Policeman's Creek, you can go look at the bow. It's a beautiful area.
Yeah, and I'm going to add in the golf courses again. You've got Stewart Creek and Silvertip, two absolutely stunning golf courses. They're up there in the price range, but if you're wanting an epic golf day, that would also be a good option for you. Let's move on to Banff now. So once you get in just west of Canmore, there are the Banff Park gates. So again, you're going to need a park pass. We like doing the yearly pass. It typically pays for itself with a couple of trips to Banff over, you know, a few days over the course of the year. You're going to stop, you're going to get your park pass. Then, you know, go into Banff, walk around, and they've created some great walking spaces, especially in summer, I believe. Parking has become more of a challenge there. If I would say one negative to Banff is they've made parking more of a challenge, right?
Yes, but they have opened a bigger parking area down by the river because they want to make it accessible to foot traffic. So it really has, they've closed off that main street, which is sort of nice, right? You can cross the road without being worried about being hit by a car.
Yeah.
There's iconic stores like HBC, There are just a million little shops and services. There's the fudge store. That's a definite
yeah, the
stop
fudge,
at.
the candy store.
The candy
the
store.
Candy store.
The
yeah.
beaver tails.
Yeah,
place.
the beaver tails. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't go to Banff without getting a beaver tail. Just Google it. Great hikes around there. Johnston Canyon. Drive out to Lake Minnewanka. Do that whole loop around. That takes you out to Lake Minnewanka. And in summer, there's like the boating things you can do and things like that. Gorgeous picture spot as well. So that is just a couple of low cost, no cost things you can do at Banff. You can of course do the gondola. I personally find it expensive, but if you've never done it, it's something worth doing.
You can also hike up to it.
You could hike up to it.
Hike up to
Yeah, exactly. If you do nothing else, go walk around the Banff Springs.
Absolutely, that's a must-have.
That is a must-do. If you're new to Calgary, if you've never been here before, even if you're not staying there, go walk around the Banff Springs, have a coffee there, take it outside on their patio. There's so many, the history in that building is unbelievable. Apparently, there are parts of it that are haunted.
Supposedly.
I have it on good authority. If you believe in that kind of stuff. So the Banff Springs is an absolute must-do, and you don't have to pay. Well, the parking is paid. I believe there's the Bow Falls parking, and that's the other thing you need to do when you're at the Banff Springs is walk on down to Bow Falls. Absolutely stunning. And then there's the golf course there as well. That is really high up there on the price point. I like it. It's an epic, I believe it was Stanley Thompson that designed it way back. So it is an epic thing. I mean, it is so expensive. I don't know that I would rank it above, either the two CANMORE golf courses, and I actually like Kananaskis the best out of those four there. So definitely take a trip over to Banff Springs, walk there. You can hike up to the gondola, whatever you'd like to do, and the hot springs, right? I think this is a must-do, right? Not
Absolutely.
super expensive.
At least once.
Exactly, and Banff was Canada's original national park, right? So there's some great history there. There's the White Museum, there's the hot springs. So definitely take advantage of some of the historical aspects of Banff National Park. And then if you want to extend your day trip, head out to Lake Louise, and we're going to wrap it up here. But the Chateau Lake Louise is also another hotel you just want to go walk through, right?
Yeah. They were all part of the CP rail line back in the day. So wealthy people back in the 1800s would start in the east, take the train, go to certain places like the Mount Royal the Mount Royal Hotel in Montreal. They'd hit what's the hotel in Toronto?
Oh, Royal York.
The Royal York. And then they'd go into Winnipeg and
Fort Garry
in Winnipeg. Then they'd hit the Palliser in Calgary. Then they'd go to Banff and go to the Banff Springs. They could go up to Lake Louise from there, or to Jasper National Park as well. And it's a piece of history. It's something you have to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's Lake Louise. Moraine Lake is an absolutely must-see as well, but they have changed that. You now need to book, I believe it's a bus ride.
Yeah.
So a lot of changes. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of those, but Moraine Lake was on our $20 bill.
Yeah.
And so that is absolutely worth seeing. Moraine Lake, Lake Louise, that whole area. If you want to go up to the ski hill, take a gondola up, that's a fun thing to do in summer as well. So that kind of wraps it up. Like as a bonus tip now, let's talk about maybe some hidden gems for people that maybe are in and around Calgary, but not on our top 5 here.
Okay, one of the ones I'm going to put on my list, it's right outside of the city. It's Cochrane. Cochrane is a beautiful little town.
Yep.
It's just northwest of the city. You drop down into this valley, great ice cream, really cool little town, lots of little biking and hiking trails, and it's just a really family-friendly area.
Yeah, and I'm going to go Nanton.
Oh, Nanton.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, south of town, south of High River, and yeah, about an hour and a bit. Just a very historic little town. Again, great low-cost golf course there, but that's part of what we do, right? So, but outside of that, there's a candy shop there. There's a flight museum as well.
Yeah.
You kind of get that old town feel, similar to Fort Macleod, or if you go down to Claresholm. Claresholm not as much because I feel like it's modernized a lot, but Nanton you still get that feel. So that's it. There's our top 5 day trips from Calgary with a couple of bonuses added in there. comment down below. Have you gone to a lot of these destinations? Are you going to plan to do that this summer? Natalie, thanks for your input. That was great. She's an original Calgarian. I'm just the import here from Manitoba. So thanks for watching this video, everybody. If you like this kind of content, make sure you give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you ring that bell so you know when we're putting out our next video, and we'll see you next time.